Holy hell in a handbasket. I've been looking at this all the wrong way. I kept wondering, why are they protecting these predators? After going down the rabbit hole for 6 straight hours, doing all the studying I could do, I think I figured it out. And this is all opinion, this is not fact, but what my research has led me to believe is that Epstein was not only tied to the Mossad, which is Israeli intelligence, he was tied to the CIA, the KGB, and British intelligence. He was gathering as many powerful people as he could around him, getting dirt on them, getting them on tape, getting pictures of them, getting them in compromising positions, and then he would sell this information to whichever intelligence agency needed it to control this powerful individual. And it was all a honeypot operation. That was his whole job, was to get rich and powerful people and get them in compromising positions, gather proof of that compromising position, and then sell it to the highest bidder. That's why they redacted all those pages that they released at first, because it's not just Epstein, it's the CIA, Israeli intelligence, British intelligence, Russian intelligence. This man was not just a double agent, he was a quadruple agent. I mean, we're talking about the most powerful spy in known history, using small girls to blackmail the most powerful people in the world so that whichever agency needed to control them could take this evidence and be like, look, you're going to do what we say, or we're going to release this information. And these powerful people were unending. My Lord, if you knew all the people, scientists, nuclear physicists, movie stars, politicians, billionaires, just on and on and on. He collected powerful people like most people collect stamps or coins. It's ungodly, the corruption and the connections this man had. He's claimed to have grew up on the streets of Brooklyn. He was raised in a gated Jewish community. He was put into power by powerful Jewish men. He didn't have a college education, yet he became a stock trader on the stock market, lying on his application. But when they found out, they didn't fire him. They did not fire him. Then he ends up being the power of attorney of one of the richest people in the United States, who just happened to be on the board of the Israeli Empowerment Fund. And his father-in-law, or Ghislaine's dad, he was a British intelligence officer and a Mossad agent. So he was a double agent, okay? And I think he used those connections to get in with Mossad and British intelligence. And then once our government knew that he was a double agent, they brought him into their folds. So now he's a triple agent. And after all this had went down, and Russian intelligence found out how much he actually had on all these rich and powerful people, they bought their way in, giving him absurd amounts of money for information on people that he controlled so that they could control them. That's why they don't want to release the files. It's not simply because Trump liked younger girls. I ain't talking about children. I'm talking about teenage girls but still illegal, still immoral. But I don't think that's why they're not wanting to release the files. I think they're not wanting to release the files because our government, the Israeli government, the British government, and the Russian government were all involved in keeping this man continually doing what he was doing. After he got caught the first time in Florida, the reason he got that sweetheart deal, the prosecutor went on record as saying the reason he got that sweetheart deal is because he was told he is in the intelligence agency, he's an intelligent asset, back off. So he gave him a sweetheart deal. Did anybody know that? Because that don't seem to make the news cycle. But yeah, it's on public record. He said it on live TV. There are recordings of it. This is insane. No wonder our government is willing to keep us so preoccupied with wars and rumors of wars. They don't want all this information coming out. That they kept an S predator running amok in America, taking advantage of small women, small girls, so that they could gather information and pretty much blackmail powerful people. This is just obscene. But this is just my opinion on what I've read. I don't know none of this to be fact, but if you put all the puzzle pieces together, it paints a pretty convincing picture. We may not ever get to see the Epstein files because it incriminates too many people in the government, not just ours, but many governments. Those girls may never get justice. But just one humble man's opinion. Do your own research. Make your own opinion. God bless America. Maybe one day our politicians will be able to look themselves in the eye in the mirror and not be ashamed of what they see. Maybe. I'll pray for them.